Essential Therapy followers, Dr. Cindy here with Essential Chat number 5. And today I decided to pull off my bookshelf one of my favorite books, The Relaxation Response. I remember getting this book. I was so excited getting this book in my hands for the first time. I thought, oh, this is talking about so much of what I want to know about and share with other people. So this book was written in the year 2000. And the cool thing is, it was written by Dr. Herbert Benson. It is actually the second copy. The first original Relaxation Response was written in the 70s, I think 1975, so 25 years earlier. So 45 years ago, okay, now this is crazy if you think about it. For 45 years, they have known the information in this book. And I am blown away and actually quite sad that more people don't know about this and practice this on a regular basis, really every day. So what is this all about? So he was a physician at the Harvard Medical School who talks about how he really broke ranks by stepping outside and doing something in this mind-body realm. And I love how he says this. I broke ranks with the medical establishment when I decided to pursue this theory and to prove or disprove it in my medical research. And it was all about the whole stress idea and being able to change stress in the body. So back in the 70s, there was a big movement towards transcendental meditation. You may have heard that term before. So they incorporated some of that, but then they also incorporated other ways to measure it, including just prayer and just using even simple blank words and a whole variety of things. So I love what he says here. I have to read a few things out of this book for you. He says, now this is back 20 years ago, okay? So think of it. Here he is writing this 25 years later after he had researched all this, and that was 20 years ago. He says, today we as a society take for granted the multifaceted and intimate relationship between mind and body. Scientists now avidly pursue ties between brain activity and physical manifestations. So in other words, they get it. Like 25 years prior to that, they had no clue. Like that just wasn't something that they were considering because he broke ranks to even consider studying it, right? So he says now, this is 20 years ago, millions of Americans now elicit the relaxation response regularly as yoga classes swell, athletes report being in the zone, and people set up quiet places in their homes to meditate or pray. So I found this fun because when I started taking yoga, it was in the late 90s, I think 1997. I took my yoga instructor training, which was 15 days of really living in a yoga environment in the year 2000 when this book came out. So I was really immersing myself in it back then. And I remember also purchasing this book because I was looking for some detailed evidence and material to share with physical therapy students. I was teaching at the Medical College of Ohio at that time, and I was teaching a class on stress. And I was blown away when in my research to give my lectures and whatnot, I came across a statement from the National Institute of Health. And it said, in 1995, the National Institute of Health stated that 85% of all illnesses were related to stress. And I remember being blown away by that. I had to read it like 4 times. In 95, 85% of all illnesses were related to stress, according to the NIH. That's mind-blowing. And I thought to myself, why then, with all of the pain that we see people in and all of the problems that they have, why is there not common knowledge about this? When you go to your doctor or you go to seek help about a certain physical ailment, why is it not the first thing that we are learning the relaxation response? Or better yet, why is not the relaxation response taught in the educational system at a very young age and something that is done regularly? Now I know over the last 20 years, and especially over the last 5 to 10 years, there is more of that, and you will actually hear about meditation being taught in the schools a little bit. But I think it's time for us to start talking about it even more, especially in this day and age. I mean, this book was written when people weren't even using cell phones anywhere near the way they are today. Because I can remember beginning text messaging in 2003, and most people didn't even know what it was. So a couple other things I want to read from here. I found just fun to familiarize with myself with again. He says, despite the advances that have been made, this 25th anniversary update, so let's just say that was 45 years ago from, when they first studied this, of the relaxation response is sorely needed. Well, I would say 20 years later, it is still sorely needed. We need to have more awareness of the relaxation response. Mind-body science has made enormous progress, but has yet to be incorporated as an equal, fully respected partner in Western medical disciplines. Guess what? 20 years later, it's still not. And that is really sad to me. So let's, in our little circle here, start making it common knowledge and something that people can use every day, any time of the day. There was one other thing I wanted to read here as well. As many times as science has affirmed the original message of the book over the past 2.5 decades, which really would be the past 45 years, medicine and society have yet to take full advantage of the healing resources within the mind-body realm. And really, it struck me when I read this just a little bit ago, this evening after pulling this off the shelf. That is my mission with Essential Therapies, is to help with this issue right here. One of the many missions, but it comes down to this. Medicine and society have yet to take full advantage of the healing resources within the mind-body realm. Healing resources within the mind-body realm. So tonight, if you turn on the news or engage in any sort of activity that creates some stress within you, especially right now in this pandemic that we're in, and I've talked with a lot of people who have just had enough of the stress and the worry and everything that's going on. And I want you to consider that we have the power in our mind body to make matters worse for our physiology or to make matters better. So as we dive into this as a group, and I'm thinking about doing a Zoom virtual session, so I'm curious if you would comment or let me know or text me or text the business number if you would be interested in doing that. Because what we can do is have maybe a weekly meditation group or an education group, whatever we would like to call it, where we're diving into some of this and some of the other resources that are now available to help us with this mind-body healing venue. Because it really starts here. And if you visualize something more positive, and what follows is your physiology, but also the energetic feeling that we have going on in our body. We need to talk more about that as well, because sometimes that word energy is a little bit scary for people, but the truth is there's photography that we can show. Even our energy body is here. The cells in our body have positive and negative charges. That's a form of energy. Our body is energy. So if we are thinking and creating stress through our thoughts, and 85% of all illnesses are related to stress, we really got to be careful what we're thinking about, right? So I apologize that this chat got much longer than I thought, but I really wanted to share this when I got very excited after seeing this on my shelf today and decided to take a few minutes to pull it out and reread. And there are a number of things I would like to share with you from this book, so would like to get your feedback about that as well. Have a good night. Think some positive thoughts, and if you can do anything, just slow your breathing down, deepen and lengthen your breath, feel the breath come in and out of your nose, and think or say in your mind a repetitive happy thought. Have a great night. More to come.